Welcome to UNCAGED, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we're speaking with Vikas Arora. Hey, Vikas, how are you?
Hi there, Band. I'm doing well, and you?
I'm really well. Vikas, I'm excited to talk to you. Vikas is the co-founder and chief growth officer of MIKADO International. And MIKADO is in my favorite industry, which is the advertising industry, and it's working on some pretty cool stuff. It's a culture-first advertising agency that strives to create a world more connected. We'll talk a lot about culture and some of the issues that we're seeing in the advertising space, as well as how MIKADO is facing some of those things. But before we get into that, Vikas, tell us a little bit about yourself and your career today.
Oh, hi there. I'm glad to be here. So funnily enough, like the story of MIKADO is the story of myself. So I've been a global citizen, was born in the US, grew up in India, went to university in England, found myself back in the US. Worked at a couple corporates, doing marketing for them, and just bringing that personal experience where immigration wasn't the key, more cultures were coming in, diversity was now starting to become a conversation. I think that's just the sentiment and the emotion of where MIKADO starts from in my life journey itself. It's just it's a representation of my experience, and I was grateful to build a team around me, which again is very culturally diverse, and both my career and now the company that I lead are focused towards celebrating diversity, connecting different cultures, and bringing this an effort to drive diversity as we stand today.
I love that. I mean, really resonate that. As someone who's spent more than half of my life outside of the United States, building bridges is really, really critical, not only internationally, but just in the United States as well, as we face some of the big, challenges like diversity in the marketing industry, as well as kind of strategies around marketing. So I'm excited to learn more about what you guys are working on. How are you facing some of these challenges, and how does MIKADO approach these efforts?
So we've been doing marketing and diversity marketing for about 10 plus years now, slightly earlier than the conversation that's happening today, but the need was there, the representation was required. And I think today a lot of brands now have embraced diversity. They recognize that, which is obviously it's been obvious pretty much for everybody that the US is a melting pot. It is built by immigrants. There's a lot of diversity here. It's about celebrating diversity, diversity of thought, diversity of gender, diversity of age, experiences, all of that come together. And I think as a firm, what we do is we help brands navigate different diverse cultures, communities, how these cultures impact within themselves and also outside, and help brands embrace that diversity. We've been working with global brands for the last 10 years, be it Comcast, Unilever, pioneers in terms of appreciating and recognizing and celebrating diversity. So we help these brands navigate, be culturally authentic, and then resonate with new and emerging cultures, if I may say.
That's excellent. I mean, certainly over the last 2 years, as we've been living through this interesting moment on the planet, which essentially I'd say, pulls us apart sometimes more than connects and builds bridges. The topic of diversity has come up time and time again, certainly with some of the social change elements that we saw last summer. How does that impact your business, and why is what you guys do so critical for where marketing's evolving to?
I'll take your second part of the question first, why it's important. It's very important for us to see all and to cater to everybody that there is. The emerging market space, the landscape is such that Gen X, Gen Z, their diversity first, their culture first, people have now traveled more. They recognize the importance of humans being humans. And I think that's the core of it, why it's relevant, why it's important. And I think in the last 2 years, with all the movements that have happened, it's just shown how communities now are galvanizing together to not only demand and ask, but the mainstream is joining. The the greater movements, and they're recognizing, hey, our neighbors are diverse, we are diverse, our thought process is diverse, we need to embrace it. So I think the movements have only re-emphasized the fact that diversity has been here, and it has to be seen, and everyone needs to be shown. And I think that's where life is becoming a little more exciting if you think about it, because brands and people and clients and consumers are taking action behind what previously used to be debates.
Right. Absolutely. Have to be involved. I think sitting on the sideline doesn't cut it anymore, for sure. And I'm curious, over the last couple of years, how has the pandemic impacted your business? I can only imagine you've been at the thick of every topic, but I'm just curious to hear how it's presented maybe operating challenges and maybe client opportunities.
No, most deaf COVID for everybody was a new reality. It's a reality that none of us we didn't even anticipate. But luckily for us, and the way we structured as an organization, we are always been employee friendly, employee first. We've had a diverse workforce, both from where they come from and also where they sit out from. So we were equipped to do remote prior to remote became the new normal. Having said that, we obviously miss our team meetings and our brainstorming sessions in the offices that we have, but we were early adopters to technology and Teams and Zoom and all that good stuff. So it didn't impact the internal functioning of the organization as much as probably other organizations might have faced. It did give us more of an opportunity to demonstrate what we can do in terms of being innovative and moving towards digital very, very quickly. So I think it gave us opportunities to embrace digital, embrace social. It provided the backbone of the organization being remote, helped us optimize on opportunities that came our way. And in fact, it's been successful in terms of just making differences. I think brands with trust, brands with purpose are now more seen, and that's exactly what we do. Purpose and trust and belief and movements and all is everything that we do from a diversity perspective.
So walk me through maybe some of the work that you guys are doing and where purpose and trust has really been able to show through. I'd just be curious if any examples that you have over the last couple of years would be great.
I know, most definitely. So we have this brand called Pears, and it's all about hand washing soaps. It's a global brand. It got launched in Canada in 2020. And one of the things that we did with the brand is we recognized that, especially in Canada, the visible minority like South Asians and East Asians are often not communicated to. And during COVID, it was very essential for us to recognize the importance of personal hygiene. And I think what we were very, very masterfully, what we did was we took the brand and we localized it, created the creatives to specifically cater to the East Asians and the South Asians up in Canada, which if you think about, they're like the Hispanics and African Americans in the US, so a huge population there.
Yep.
And just educate the consumer in terms of understanding the importance of personal hygiene, regular hand washing, equipping the consumer to recognize and educate. So I think that was like a brand with purpose that came in not to sell, but to educate. And the second example I can think of, again, in the hygiene space with Lifebuoy, we launched it in both North America and US. It's a global brand, #1 in 50 plus countries. The need of the hour was sanitization, hand sanitizers and all that good stuff. So we deployed, the company deployed resources, got the brand to shelf in the grocery stores and online. And it was our job to make sure that consumers understand that this product is available at a very reasonable price. And on top of that, what we were able to do, we were able to partner up with charities across North America to donate soap for the least accessible communities in terms of hygiene, and just making an impact in terms of making sure that hygiene is available at every economic level, the access is there, and just make a difference again in a very small way, but in a bigger way in terms of providing people what they need.
I mean, if you're able to kind of make soap exciting, you've crushed it, right? I mean, that's like I think the classic product, which is the kind of the most commoditized product. But if you can kind of make it relevant, make it solve a problem and a solution for a customer, and then obviously in this case, put it in the context of a life-saving tool. I mean, amazing work. Congratulations on that stuff. And those are great brands. Both of those brands, Pears as well as Lifebuoy, are spectacular brands, and certainly excited to see how those develop. So Vikas, as you look forward with the business and the rest of this year as well as next year, what are you excited about and what are your hopes for the future?
I think it's a very exciting time to be in marketing and advertising. It's with the digitization and just the creativity that can come and the experiences that you can share online and digitally with like a greater audience. It's awesome. We've been working with a lot of brands like Comcast, where we're doing virtual concerts. It's something that's new for us, and we've gotten into that because of the pandemic and just the way the movement has changed. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for digital experiences. We're excited about that. We're excited about the conversation of diversity coming to the forefront and brands taking action. And we're just taking pride in the fact that during the last 2-3 years, we've grown and we've expanded our team more internationally. And now we cover North America, Europe. We have plans to get into South Asia and Australia Pacific this year, early next year. So a lot to look forward to.
Well, Vikas, thank you for being on the show today. And it's amazing to see the progress of MIKADO International and what you guys are working on. If somebody wanted to reach you and learn more about what you guys are doing, where can they find you?
Our website is the best place to go get contact info for the team. It's www.mikadointl.com. The INTL is for international. Look me up on LinkedIn, Vikas Arora, MIKADO. It's easy to find. Those are some places that you can find, and I would love to have conversations.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we've been speaking to Vikas Arora. He is the co-founder and chief growth officer of MIKADO International. They're a company that puts culture first in their advertising, and they strive to create a world that is more connected. Vikas has taken us through a couple examples of some of the work that they're doing for clients that has been very impactful during the pandemic and the COVID moment, and really highlighted the importance of applying diverse thinking to build bridges, as well as to reach deep into specific cultural advertising opportunities. And so, Vikas, thank you so much for being on the show today. I look forward to having you back.
Oh, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
All right. Thanks.